Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Christina Steeren with Bullseye Investments, where we help busy professionals invest in their future when time is scarce. And today I wanted to answer another question we've been getting a lot from people who are a little bit curious about what happens before they get to see an investment opportunity. We've talked in the past about what a PSA or purchase sale agreement is, and this kind of piggybacks off of that conversation a little. So definitely check that video out. It's linked below in the event that you haven't seen it. And let me go ahead and tell you our topic for today is, what is due diligence? I think the best way to start talking about due diligence is to kind of give you a brief overview of the beginning of a deal cycle for us on the general partnership side. Basically, when we get an OM or offering memorandum, and this is a package of information and materials put together by a broker to market a property that's for sale, we dive into it a little and we begin this process known as underwriting. So during the underwriting stage, we are looking to see if it makes sense to even move forward with learning more about a property. So during that stage, we might ask for information from the broker or pull information from that offering memorandum and analyze whether or not it even makes sense to move forward with looking at the property. If it does, we are going to submit an LOI or letter of intent. The LOI is basically us saying, hey, we're really interested in this property and this is what we think we'd like to pay for it. Depending on whether the seller's interested in that, the next stage we would move to is that PSA or purchase sale agreement stage, which is the formal contract between a seller and a buyer with all of the terms laid out. Now, one of the things laid out during that is for the process of due diligence, and that's going to be our topic today. Due diligence is when we get to do a really deep dive into a property to make sure that the underwriting that we had started still makes sense. So while we might have started underwriting with that offering memorandum, we are constantly reassessing and updating our underwriting, trying to get it as specific as possible so we can give our investors the most specific, accurate information that we possibly have available to us. We're going to look at the physical due diligence aspect, the financial due diligence aspect, a lease audit, and we might even potentially bring specialists onto a property to assess things if we know we might need them. Okay, so let's start with physical due diligence. This is when we physically walk the property. Every single unit, we walk into it and we assess where everything's at, the age and the functionality of everything, from the countertops to the microwave to the stove to the refrigerators to the air conditioning unit. All of that, even the toilets are looked at, and we can assess, really, is everything as we thought it would be? What might it cost if we're going to do those renovations? We also, in addition to this, walk the entire exterior of the property. We use a company a lot of times that'll send up drones so that we can really assess the condition of the roofs. We walk the exteriors and look at what needs to be fixed, what might be a safety issue that we would definitely want to make sure we have fixed, and where does our idea for amenities and extras that residents are going to love fit into the property itself? You know, is there a pool that needs to be redone? Do we have a space to add a playground? What does all of that kind of start to look like? And we start roughing out that picture that gets clearer after due diligence as we take all of that information and assimilate it into our underwriting plan. It's important to remember that due diligence isn't conducted by one person alone. It's generally a team. So while somebody is outside or walking units conducting that physical due diligence, someone else or other members of the team, depending on how many people are at the due diligence process during that time period, are conducting a financial due diligence. They're looking at all the money coming in, all the money going out for a specific property, and comparing that to the information they were given. In a lot of cases, quite a bit of time, maybe even a month, has happened between when the underwriting began and when due diligence occurs. So in addition to looking at the money flowing in and out of a property and comparing that to the information that we had been previously given, we also take the time to look at the most up-to-date financial information. That allows us to see trends, it allows us to see any changes, and it really helps to give us a good financial picture of how the property is doing. Now, in addition to that, we're looking at how money is coming in and where it's going out, and we're assessing it to see if there's any way that we can streamline the operational side of things so that we can reduce expenses operationally while boosting productivity for a specific property. And that's something that you get to do when you really start diving deep into the financials for a specific property. A third area that we focus on during due diligence is known as a lease audit. And that's where we go through every single lease and see what is the resident being charged for. Are there any extras that they might be charged for? For example, perhaps having a pet or having their internet or cable bundled into the cost of their rent payment. And then we look to make sure that that matches the rent payments that are being deposited into the account for that property. So this is how much they should be getting for rent, and this is what they're actually getting, that comparison. In addition to this, it also gives us the opportunity to see what the seller is charging for each individual unit and what the variance could potentially be. And it also confirms where we expect and our underwriting is for where units currently stand. And that really helps, especially in a value add, when you are wanting to do renovations and increase the rent price because of all of the new amenities that you're putting into a unit to freshen it up and make it really current. All right, the fourth area that we might have as part of our due diligence is specialists. Sometimes when you're looking at a property, you know that there might be some sort of issue prior to going on site. You might notice when we might notice when we drive through the property that when it rains really heavily, there might be drainage issues. Or we're really concerned about the age of the property and how good the pipes are leading to the main sewage line. Or we know that there's some sort of roof issue that we really want to have checked out. Due diligence can be an awesome time to have specialists scheduled to come in to do an assessment. They're able to, because that's their specialty, look at an issue really in depth, assess it, and give us a comprehensive understanding of what the problem is and what it's going to cost to fix it. That's really big because that helps us with our underwriting, right? We're not going to have any surprises after we close because we took the time to bring the specialists in ahead of time and figure out where those hidden costs might be, or not so hidden costs if it's like a roof issue that we know that's there. But it helps us to also know how much it's going to cost to fix those problems, and that helps us to make our underwriting better so that we can be really more accurate with our projected returns when it gets to you guys, the investors. So I hope that gave you a nice brief overview of what that due diligence process is and how important it is for us as syndicators before you're even able to see an investment opportunity. Just a little bit of some of the things that we do to really make sure that when we're presenting you an opportunity, it truly is the best opportunity that we could possibly offer you. I hope you like this video and that you are learning a ton. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, please feel free to either leave us a comment below or email me directly. I love getting your emails. I love responding to them. And I love using them to create video content like this for you guys as well. All right, if you found this helpful, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and let us know what you think. We look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day. There's a lizard running right behind me. It's not a small lizard, it's like a big lizard. Just thought I'd share. Y'all, another plane. These planes just keep flying right overhead, and I've got like little flies around my knees again because it's just that season. I'll know what I'm gonna do. Just thought I'd share. It's important to remember, also for anybody who doesn't know, I'm using a piece of junk mail to mark how far away I should be from the camera in case I move around too much, because I tend to do that a lot. If you found this helpful, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. You like that? Like, comment, or subscribe. Am I really recording?